Let me record from my side and let me share the screen. Right. Okay. So in case I want to create one virtual machine with 16 GB RAM, okay, with a 8 core CPU, and imagine 2 terabytes of storage. So in case if I want to create this machine, Akshay, I guess I gave you the recording permission. Just check it once. Okay, let me give you. Yeah, you can record. Right. Okay. So in case if I want to create a virtual machine with these, imagine this just for example, I'm saying. Who is that? Sunil. Let me give you the permissions. Right. So in case if I want to create a virtual machine with this, okay, resources, okay, 16 GB RAM, 8 core CPU, 2 TB. So you have to use these existing physical resources, okay. From 2000 GB RAM, you are going to use 16 GB. From 20 TB hard disk storage, you have to use 2 TB. And from 200 core CPU, you have to take 8 core. So by using all these resources, you can create virtual machines. The only thing is you cannot touch the virtual machines. There is no difference between a physical machine and a virtual machine. The only major difference, physical machine you can see, whereas virtual machine you cannot see. Remaining everything will work fine. Everything, how a physical machine will work, in the same way, virtual machine also will work. Okay, there is no challenges, there is no issues with the virtual machines and all. What is the major advantage with the virtual machines? What is the major advantage with the virtual machines?
Because we can allocate the memory or RAM to the particular virtual machine.
Mm-hmm.
Within virtual machine, there are many servers, and we can allot the
utilizing the resources efficiently without using that
and depending upon the server
physical machine.
using.
Yes. Okay. So earlier, if you see, if you go to any organization, you can see separate rooms are there called server rooms. You can see lot of servers, lot of machines. Okay. Complete big server rooms are there earlier. For some companies like TCS, Infosys and all, a separate buildings will be there for servers. It is going to maintain a separate building for servers. Okay. Why? Because every machine is a physical machine. You have to allocate space, you have to allocate power, you have to allocate AC for all these machines to run. Okay, but for virtual machines, you can avoid these challenges. No need to provide any space. Okay, if you go to a college lab, if you go to the college lab, you can see 30 machine. Please mute. Please mute. If you don't have questions, please mute. Right. Okay. So if you go to the college lab, okay, you can see lot of servers, not servers, systems are there, right? So 30 or 20 servers you can see in a row. Okay, so in the same way, earlier, before this virtual machine, virtualization technology, earlier we have big buildings for maintaining the servers. Separate buildings are there for maintaining the servers and all. And separate building means you can imagine the cost. Separate building means you have to pay money for the building, rents, power, cooling, everything. Lot of challenges are there. Network is the main biggest issue. Okay, lot of things you have to cover under network. So these are the main challenges with the physical machines. Later, no need of that much setup. Okay, I'm not saying without storage, okay, without RAM, without CPUs we can create virtual machines. We should have this, but you can accommodate all these things in a separate box, a big box, that is fine. So a single room, a small room is enough to maintain. Okay, so you can save cost, you can save a lot of money and all in terms of, okay, virtual machines. So in the organization, Okay, mostly 80 to 90% is virtual machines will be there. Only 10% is physical machines will be there. Only 10% is physical machines will be there. 80 to 90% is in some companies 100% virtual machines will be there. 10% no, no, 0% virtual physical machines will be there. But big companies usually, okay, they will go in a ratio like 75-25, 75% virtual machines, 25% physical machine, or 80% virtual machines, 20% physical machines. Okay, they will keep decreasing it. They will keep decreasing it. I told you, right, there are challenges in maintaining the physical machines, power issue, different issues are there, right? So that's why usually in the organization will use mostly virtual machines only, right? So I told you, right, how to create virtual machines. By taking a pool, by taking some resources from the resource pool, we can create the virtual machines. Okay, so who will manage all these things? Virtual machine software. Virtual machine software will help you to create virtual machines. So can anyone tell me what are the virtual machine softwares, virtualization technologies we have in the market? Any softwares?
VMware.
Very good. VMware.
X5.
VMware. Oracle VirtualBox. Okay. Oracle VirtualBox. And from Microsoft, we have one thing. What is that? Hypervisor.
Yeah, Hyper-V.
Yeah, Hyper-V or hypervisor. Okay. We call it as hyper. These are the main virtualization technologies in the market. These are the main top VMware. Mostly companies will use VMware, and then Oracle VirtualBox also is there. Hyper-V, very less people are going to use this hypervisor or Hyper-V, right? So we are going to use Oracle VirtualBox. For VMware, we should have a lot of resources. Of course, we have a lot of challenges, right, in terms of hard disk, in terms of memory. If you create VMware, it will take at least 2 GB or 3 GB RAM for creating a single machine itself. But Oracle VirtualBox is a lightweight virtualization technology. You can run machines with 512 MB RAM also. Okay, so no matter what is the software we are using to practice. Why? Because in the organization, we don't create these virtual machines. Okay, in the organization, we will have separate teams, guys. Okay, we'll have VM team, Windows team. Sometimes Windows team only will perform VM activities also. Sometimes there is a separate team for VM activities. VM team, Windows team, network team. Okay, database team, of course. And apart from this, what are the other teams we'll have?
OS team.
OS, Windows team only. Okay, Windows will
Storage.
control it. Storage,
Storage.
yeah, very good. Okay, storage team.
Service desk team under.
That is different. Okay, mainly these are the main teams to maintain the server, service desk and all. In case if you face any challenges, they will let us know. That is the main, okay, duty of service desk people, right? So these are the main teams in the organization. So we'll have Windows team, storage team, VM team, network team, backup team. Yeah, backup team also will be there. There is a separate team, but these are the main teams. In case if you want to maintain a database, okay, these teams should be there. Okay, so the tickets will be there between these teams. Okay, if something goes wrong, might be there is an issue with the VM, might be there is an issue with the Windows, might be there is issue with the storage or network or database, anything. We cannot suspect, we cannot say definitely this is a database issue only. We cannot say like that, because in case if your VM is not working properly, if your Windows is not working, operating system is not working properly, or storage is not working properly, or network is not good, or network is down, finally they will come to database only. Simply customer will raise a request, my database is not working, my database is down. Okay, I'm unable to connect to the database. So lot of issues will be there, lot of teams will be there. Okay, so don't think like only the issue belongs to database. Again, as I discussed in the first class, don't blame only database. If your network is down, of course you cannot connect to the databases. If your storage is down, of course SQL Server will be down. Okay, so there are a lot of challenges. So we have to check
So
it. What is
please
that?
give me the recording permission.
Who is that? Gopi. Okay, let me give you the recording permissions. Right, you can record the session. Okay, so a lot of issues will be there. In case if something goes wrong at any stage, usually your database will be down. Okay, so sometimes we'll get the Windows team tickets to our queue. Windows team will get database team tickets. The service desk team will be there. Service desk usually what they are going to do is they are going to route the tickets. Service desk are monitoring team. They will monitor the alerts, tickets, and all. They are going to route the tickets. Depends upon their policy. Sometimes they will wrongly throw the Windows tickets to the DBA queue, or they will wrongly send that particular storage tickets to our DBA queue. Simply, we have to open the ticket. We have to see the description that is there in the ticket. Ticket means a request. Say, for example, your internet is not working. Imagine you're using an Act Internet or Hathway. If your internet is not working, you will open Hathway app, you will raise a complaint. A ticket will be created on behalf of you. What it contains? It may contains a lot of information. I am not getting the internet, or my pack is expired. Can you please help me? Or I am going to change the address. Okay, can you please help me? So ticket might be anything. It's a request. So don't think like, see, internet is not working. Of course, it's a request. We have to let them know. You want to change your address from one location to another location. You are changing the city, you want to change the address, or in the same city, you want to change the address. Right? So this is also a request, right? So for internet itself, we have these many requests. Imagine for databases, how many requests will be there. So each request, we are going to call it as a ticket. If you go to Hathway or Act also, a ticket will be assigned to you. Some 9 digits or 10 digit ticket will be there. A ticket will be raised on behalf of you. Ticket means simply a request. My internet is not working, or I want to change the address, or I want to upgrade my plan, or I want to buy extra data. These are the requests, right? So ticket means a request. So in the same way, in the organization also, if anyone is having any requirements, they will raise the tickets. Create a new database, a ticket. Install new server, a ticket. Give me permissions, a ticket. Okay, so why? Because tickets will help you to track the status. For example, you are delivering one product, or you bought some items in the Amazon. They will give you that delivering tracking status, right? So using that item order ID, they will track your order, where it is exactly, in which location it is, in which city it is. You can easily track it in the Amazon order space. Or else you are sending a courier to your friend or to your relatives. They will give you the DTDCR, different courier services are there. They are going to give you some AWB number. Using this AWB number, you are going to track where it is exactly. So in the same way, by using this ticket number, the users can track it. Who owns this ticket? What is the status of this ticket? When it is going to be completed? What are the updates on this ticket? Okay, so for all these things, we will have tickets in the organization. Customers will raise tickets if something goes wrong, or not only something goes wrong, or else if they need something, they want to create a database, they want to install a SQL server, they need permissions on the databases. Okay, so for their requirements, and if something goes wrong also, tickets will be created. DBAs, the tickets, the service desk team will route the particular tickets to the particular team. Okay, so that we have to pull the tickets from the queue. If it is database ticket, of course, all the database tickets will come to the database queue. We have to pull it. Those who are there in the shifts, we have to pull the tickets. We have to assign the tickets for ourselves. Then we can start working on it. Okay, so this is how ticketing system will work, right? So that's it for today. Tomorrow, I'll tell you how to install Oracle VirtualBox. Okay, tomorrow we'll discuss how to install Oracle VirtualBox. Next thing, creating virtual machine and installing Windows operating systems. Okay, installing Windows operating system. Then in the next class, we'll discuss about the SQL Server installation. Once everything is ready, we can start installing SQL Server installation. Okay, the next class, we can discuss SQL Server installation. So any questions, any doubts in today's class? Any doubts, guys? Any issues, any doubts?
Hello, hi.
Yeah. Tell me.
What are the things previously it was covered?
Previously, okay, let me tell you. Okay, so here, yesterday itself, I just uploaded the yesterday's class and day before yesterday's class. Again, go to the YouTube. Okay, immediately what you can do is everyone. Why? Because for the next 10 to 20 classes, not 10, 20 classes, I am going to upload those recordings into my channel. Go to the YouTube, go to the SQL DBA classes. The first thing you have to do is you have to subscribe to the channel, so that whenever I am uploading the classes, you will immediately get notification. And Friday's class, okay, Friday's class, this is our channel, SQL Server DBA with the 3 black servers. Go to this channel, SQL DBA classes, go to video section. Yesterday's class, I just uploaded here. You can see SQL DBA batch 39, class 4, SQL DBA batch 39, class 5. Okay. And we have batch 39. Yes. SQL DBA batch 39, class 1, class 2, class 3. Okay, so you have to follow these 5 classes. Each class is around 30 minutes only, 30 to 35 minutes. Class 1, batch 39, you have to check the batch 39, class 1, class 2, class 3. These 3 are overview of the sessions. And yesterday we just covered, okay, about the SQL Server versions, Windows Server versions, build numbers. Okay, and that's it. Mostly that's it. In yesterday's 2 classes, we just covered these 2 things like SQL Server versions, Windows Server versions, and build numbers. In the Friday's class, okay, we just covered about the course overview. What is this course? How many days it will take? How to practice it? What are the requirements? Okay, these things covered in class 1, class 2, class 3. Okay, again, okay, please subscribe to this. I am going to upload today's videos also into this channel. Almost all 20 videos, 20 classes you can find here. Half of the classes I'll upload to this YouTube channel. Remaining off, I'm going to send it to your email directly. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, Shanmugh.
Yeah. Any questions? Any doubts?
Nothing, sir, very clear.
Yeah. Okay. So tomorrow, okay, it's very interesting topic. Tomorrow onwards, demos will start. So by today, like we have discussions, theory part is there. So tomorrow onwards, we can create an environment like this. Okay, very interesting, completely demo kind of thing.
Created on
Usually initially for the half of the course, we'll practice with one machine. After that, okay, we'll set up active directory, primary node, secondary node for practicing HADR, high availability disaster recovery concepts. 3 machines should be up and running at a time. So for that, we are going to configure 3 machines. But for the first half of the course, we'll work with a single machine.
how many machines are can create?
There is no limitation. Okay, you can depends upon your, see, for example, you have 100 rupees, you want to share to 10 people. How much you can give to each person?
Yeah.
Right? Depends upon the limitation. You have only 100 rupees and you have 10 people are there. Okay, so here you can share it, but in the virtual machine, you cannot do like, you can create hundreds of machines, but the thing is all machines should not run at a time. If you started those machines, they will start consuming the resources, RAM, CPU. Okay, so if they started consuming the resources, it depends upon the resources you have. If you have 4 GB, hardly you can create only one machine. If you have 8 GB, you can create 2 machines or 3 machines. You can give 1.5 GB, 1.5 GB, 1.5 GB for 3 machines, 4.5 GB total. Remaining 2.5 GB will be there for your local purpose. Your laptop has to be up and running, right? For that, it will take 2 GB or 3 GB. Okay, so it depends upon your RAM. How much RAM you have depends on that. You can create machines. Right? Any questions, guys? Right. Okay. If no questions, yes, tell me. Tell me any questions, please. Right. So if there is no questions, that's it for today, guys. Tomorrow by 7 a.m. again, I request you to all please join at least by 7:05 so that we can discuss. Okay, at least 5 minutes more when compared to like if you join 7:10 like that, so that again for asking questions it may take 5 or 10 minutes. So try to join by 7:05 at least. Okay, so that we can discuss more. Yeah, that's it, guys, and thank you so much. Tomorrow, okay, by 7 a.m. we are going to connect again. Okay, thank you all. Bye.
Yeah, thank you, Bye, Shan.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.